Let's say we have two visa applicants, the same age, same gender, same study program, same destination in Canada. The only difference is where they come from. The first applicant is from the Philippines, while the second one is from Nigeria. The first one has a 59% chance to getting her study permit approved, while the second one from Nigeria only a 16% chance. Now let's make it even more interesting. We have another applicant with the same characteristics, but this time she comes from Germany. Guess what? Her success rate goes up to 79%. It is what it is, but I think it's crucial you know it, because even though not everything is in your hands, such as the place where you were born, but there's 10 factors I want to talk about today that drastically impact your study permit application approval rate. My name is Max, and my mission here is to make your new chapter in Canada successful, to make that move to Canada successful, and for you to strengthen our economy here with your talent and your skill set. If you want to talk more about your case privately, there's a link to book a consultation with me in the description to this video. And now let's dive straight into the juice, and don't forget to subscribe. Number one, age. I don't think that your 30s or 40s is the riskiest age to apply for a study permit to come to Canada. It's rather your mid-20s, because that's the time when you've just graduated, you don't have enough work experience yet to say that you've reached a professional ceiling, hence you need to go abroad to Canada to further your education. Number two, previous visa refusals, especially if this regards countries that Canada shares their immigration database with, like the US, UK, or Australia. You definitely want to address this in your letter of explanation. Number three, gender. At this point, we've had enough both male and female clients to say that this doesn't really play a role. Number four, previous immigration intentions. If you've signed up for express entry in the past, a visa officer might think that your intentions are not temporary, but rather permanent. You want to get PR in the future, and this is why your visa might be refused. Number five, educational gap. If you've graduated, let's say 10 years ago from your university back home, make sure a visa officer can see a clear progression and a clear return on investment. Why are you moving abroad, leaving your family back home? Or even if you don't have family, why are you spending $50,000 on your education? What will that give you as a return on investment? Number six, finances. The money formula is you need to show that you have enough money to cover the entire study program, plus $10,000 a year for every year you're staying in Canada, plus $5,000 for miscellaneous expenses. This is why if you're applying for a 2-year program, the bare minimum I recommend to have in your account or your sponsor's account is $50,000. Number seven, tuition deposit. Typically, for you to get a letter of acceptance, your school would require to do a security deposit. This is when you give your school $2,000 or $3,000 in advance to lock in your seat. Sometimes this could be a semester's fee. And if possible, I recommend that you deposit as much as you can. Sometimes it could be 1 year of your studies, so that you show your intentions are very serious, but this is again not as big as the previous point about the money formula. Number eight, professional background. I've repeated myself so many times on this, but please make sure that what you did in the past aligns with what you're planning to do in Canada. And perhaps it can even complement it, so that when you return home, you have a clear return on investment, and the visa officer can see a career progression, a business profit, or something that demonstrates why you've spent so much money on this education. Number nine, unstable areas. The sad reality is that if your country has gone through a military coup or a crisis, it might be more difficult to demonstrate home ties, because why would you go back there if all of this bad stuff happened, right? But still, it's outside of our control, and what we can do is only strengthen other points on this list. Number 10, letter of explanation, also known as a statement of purpose or a study plan. This is your only opportunity to communicate with the visa officer, because there will be no interview like with the US Embassy, for example. And this is your chance to describe why you chose your study program, how it will benefit you home, to prove those home ties and everything I mentioned in the last couple of minutes of this video. So please make sure you strengthen your profile. If you need to talk to me privately about how to do so, book a consultation in the description to this video. And if you want to learn how to make a strong letter of explanation, make sure to watch this video next. And I'll see you next Sunday.